Hey everybody, my name is Ethix.
My name is T.
And welcome to Fearful Thoughts.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been going and
Kind of
going.
rough. I mean, the technical difficulties with this new equipment.
Yeah, that was giving us some fucking issues.
Jesus, yeah. I'm glad we got it all figured out.
So just a little...
It's either the equipment or we're jinxed and we're not supposed to talk about today's topic. One or the other.
You know, if it doesn't work, I'm going to go with the second one.
Yeah,
I was going to say the first one, but I was like, wait, what did he say first?
No.
I just want to, first of all, because, I mean, it's my responsibility to make sure that the episodes get out and on time. And it's also, I take blame for that.
Well, it's not just you. I mean, the equipment really, I mean, the technical malfunctions really fucked us. So, you know.
No, agreed.
If we did not have technical issues, we would have had it out Sunday.
Yeah, I would have gotten it out by Sunday.
But the technical issues kept pushing us back.
Yeah, well, literally there was a time where we were like, we need to step back because this is too much. We were getting too frustrated and flustered.
Oh yeah, you know, recording 1.5 times and finding out it only captured 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And it was saying, oh, it recorded this much for the first half and this much for the second half. But when we went back and looked at the folder, it was literally a
fraction of the time.
Yeah. It was like a 16th of what it was actually supposed to be.
Yeah. And then when we got that figured out, then it didn't even want to capture our soundboard, or my microphone wasn't working. I mean, just one issue after another. So I'm glad that we're up and running.
Definitely.
Things are good. Also, you know, on that note, kind of sad news.
Oh?
Yeah, I just found out that on Sunday, because, you know, the haunted house and everything, we're part of this haunted house culture, and we've made connections with a lot of people around the country and even outside the country, like Canada.
Yeah.
I found out that one of the Canadian haunters from the Canadian Haunters Association passed away. Sunday.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sad deal. Unfortunately, I don't think I ever met the guy, but any life lost is sad, regardless.
Yeah. It's a major loss in anybody's day.
Yeah, and to find out that it was because of issues he had going on and lost the battle, and so, you know,
it's a tough.
Talk to your friends, talk to family.
Yeah,
you know.
Never leave somebody out.
Suicide prevention.
Let's dedicate this episode to suicide awareness.
I like that. Yeah.
Honestly.
That's a good one. Suicide awareness. It's a big silent killer. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people know about it. A lot of people know, you know, like depression leads down that road. I'm sorry, I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye.
Fucking shut up, people. Get out of here.
Right? Jesus. But yeah, it'll get you, and you know, a lot of times you don't think that anybody is there for you or anything, and sometimes they think that's the only way to go.
Yeah, and a little PSA note right here. If you have a friend, family member, or an acquaintance that you've met in your lifetime, and you see signs of depression or anxiety or anything like that, and you don't think it's your place to tell somebody, you go tell somebody. Go tell a teacher,
definitely,
a parent, a guardian, somebody at a random at a store or something like that, an adult or just somebody that you know that's close to you, and let them know what's going on, because you could have just saved somebody's life.
Definitely.
All it takes is a smile and a hey sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, you see somebody being down like that. If you just give them a little bit of attention and be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Just being polite, being a good person. I mean, sometimes that makes the world difference. Reaching out, being friendly.
No, I agree. Spread kindness.
Yeah, I mean, that's just good human nature anyways, is to be kind to others. And I'm
gonna leave a hashtag on YouTube. I want to get this trending right now. Hashtag kill 'em with kindness.
I like it.
Exactly. So
all right, well,
back
move
to
on
business.
to happier, more fun-filled topics. I know that's not a very fun topic people don't like to talk about, so
yeah,
but it is important.
It's necessary, I think.
A necessary evil.
So, on lighter news, you know what's coming out soon?
No, what? What's coming out?
The new movie, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Coming out June 4th of 2021.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
Just a pebbles throw away, man. I'm telling you.
That one, wasn't it supposed to come out last year?
Yeah, September 11th.
Yeah, that's right. We were going to go see that for my birthday.
Yeah. And
fucking COVID ruined our tradition.
Exactly. It definitely kind of fucked shit up.
Do you know anything about it?
Apparently it says that it's the first recorded case in America that was brought to court for the murder reasoning behind it being the devil made me do it, as in using demonic possession as a reasoning behind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I got the premise here.
You got the premise?
Yeah. It says, Devil Made Me Do It reveals a chilling story of terror, murder, and unknown evil that shocked even experienced real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. One of the most sensational cases from their files. It starts with a fight for the soul of a young boy, then takes them beyond anything they've ever seen before, to mark the first time in U.S. history that a murder suspect would claim demonic possession as a defense.
Yeah. Yeah, some pretty chilling stuff.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, this kind of foreshadows next week's episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for next week.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit of what's going on.
It's interesting because I was reading about this, and it sounds like it takes place in
like the 80s?
3 or something like that. So yeah, in the 80s. 1981.
1981. Okay.
So what's interesting is they say this, but yet in my research for next week, I have some contradictory stuff.
Oh, opposing, like, date-wise?
Yeah. For
shit.
Different case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Watch out.
So we'll see what it says and go from there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it.
So with that, do we have any messages?
Yes and no. Yeah.
Holy cow. So, I'm excited now.
So we do not have a voice message from what I was looking at, but we do have a message that was left for us on our Facebook group, Fearful Crew, which is the little side group on the Fearful Thoughts page.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming that this is anonymous, and I'm going to leave it that way until otherwise said.
Okay.
It says, I listen to you religiously and have actually recommended you to a couple people that I know. Love the episode so far. Nice little heartfelt episode.
Ooh, nice.
Little message right
Is
there.
this one of our longtime listeners?
Yeah, since episode 1.
Nice. I mean, I know I said long time, and we're only at like episode 9.
Yeah, we're
so-
9 weeks.
But, you know,
Almost 10 coming this week.
yeah, this coming weekend, 10. Ooh,
Yeah, I'm excited.
I am too. Can't wait.
So, jumping in on today's episode, let's talk a little bit about shadow people and kind of dive in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So, have you personally had any experiences with shadow people?
I don't think I definitely haven't had anything that like really stands out. Like I've turned a corner and there's a shadowy figure in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that. I've definitely had like, you think you see something out the corner of your eye and you turn to go look at it and it's gone.
Yeah.
Or you see movement out your peripheral. I've had that.
Oh, shit. Yeah, which is part of its actual description of what they do.
Fuckers.
Those little bastards.
Right?
Yeah, it's funny because when I was doing my research and looking up the pictures for today's episode,
Mm-hmm.
I kept on looking over the corner of my eye. Like, I kept on thinking, oh shit, did I see something? Like, it looked like something was, like, standing in the kitchen, and I was sitting there all freaked out a little bit, and it looked like this black figure kept on darting back and forth before my eyes. It was very scary, very
Interesting.
chilling. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I don't know if that was just my mind playing tricks on me because I was looking up said topic, or... And that's possible. I was
Never know.
tired,
Never
too.
know.
Yeah, because I was doing research late, so...
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking for pictures for our slideshow, I kind of had the same thing, kind of spooked myself out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, shit's creepy.
Especially sitting in the room all alone in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had one light on the time that I was doing it.
One other thing, though, we watched this really cool movie over the weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of watched half of it.
Yeah, which you didn't fall asleep through.
I know. I was tired.
What was the name of that?
That's... Oh, fuck. I can't think of the goddamn name.
Scare Me.
Scare Me. Oh, that's
Scare
what it
Me.
was. It was on Shudder.
Our favorite
Streaming device.
streaming. Yeah.
Oh, I said device. That's
I
dumb.
saw that they have another one that's that we need to watch. It's I was reading about today. It's jeez, I wish I could remember the fucking name.
What's it about?
It's kind of a play on Red Riding Hood, but a lot more fucked up.
Oh, shit. Well,
Yeah.
the Grip version of that is pretty fucked up already.
Right, and this might be a little more true to that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I think it's Hunted.
Hunted?
I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. It's cool because in the original Grimm portion of it, I think it's they representate the wolf as a lycanthrope.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that, at least in one version that I've read, and there are many others that say it was just a big fucking wolf, but I don't know.
I like the werewolf turn on it.
I do too. Well, I'm a little biased, but
Oh, okay. I found it.
Well-
While we were chatting, I was looking it up. It is called Hunted, described as a modern and radical take on the Little Red Riding Hood fable.
Modern take. Ooh.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
The synopsis is what started as a flirtatious encounter at a bar turns into a life or death struggle as Eve becomes the unknowing target of a misogynistic plot against her. Forced to flee as two men pursue her through the forest, she's pushed to her extremes while fighting to survive in the wilderness, but survival isn't enough for Eve. She will have revenge.
Jesus fuck. Eve sounds like a little badass.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm hooked.
Trying to find a reason. Ooh, January 2021. So it should be up.
What, in about a week or so?
It is January 2021.
Well, oh, okay, yeah. No. I was thinking, when you said 2021, I was thinking like January 21st. Like,
right. No.
That's what popped in my head.
So it should be out. We'll have to check it out this coming weekend or something.
Yeah, let's watch it. I'm down.
We really should start getting paid from Shudder.
Yeah, we should, for all the fucking shout-outs.
Free
and
advertisement.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Come on, Shudder. I got you. Let's do this.
We really haven't mentioned too many movies on other streaming services.
Hey, Netflix.
Nice. Are you ready for the horror fact of the week?
I'm actually pretty excited about the horror fact this week. Let's give it away.
All right. So, Northern State Mental Hospital, Sedro-Woolley, Washington. The Northern State Mental Hospital, now known in some circles as Northern State Ghost Town, is located in the foothills of the North Cascades. The self-sustaining hospital complex, once the state's largest facility for the mentally insane, or not so insane, sits on 1,100 acres and was operational from 1912 to 1973, according to the Washington Trail Association. The hospital closed in 1976, but some of its buildings are still in use as drug rehab center and a Job Corps projects. According to some reports, patients died at the facility from all kinds of experimental treatments, including electroshock therapy, sterilizations, and botched transorbital lobotomies. The eerie remains of Washington State's mental hospital are rumored to be haunted with apparitions and unexplained screams reported by unsuspecting visitors. Investigators of paranormal activity have said the ghostly remains of the Northern State Mental Hospital are haunted. Some of the documented paranormal activity include the apparition of a nurse pushing a patient in a wheelchair. Some visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures, and others have reported hearing screams and voices. Although occupied buildings at the complex are off limits to the public, most of the property is now part of the Northern State Recreational Area and can be accessed if you're up for a little ghost hunting.
Ooh, I got a little tidbit for you on that. Which, yeah, I've been there.
No way.
Yeah, it was during this last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my buddy Nick, which you all have met if you've been listening to the show.
Yeah,
we went up there.
Have him on again.
Yeah, yeah, we do. We went up there for a day. Because he found that online and he was like, "Oh, dude, let's go check this out. We'll go film it and everything. Take out some equipment. It'll be a lot of fun." And I was like, "Okay, let's go." And so we went, and it was like a 6.5 mile hike, up through the whole thing and then back. It was a long fucking walk.
Damn.
But it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So basically, you start out at the parking lot, and right next to the parking lot, a little ways away, is the farm and the barn and shit like that, where you're not supposed to walk through it, but you can go inside and check it out and everything. And I have about like 12, 15, and 20-minute footage of us walking through the whole thing. So
Nice.
So you start at the farm, then you go to a food processing plant, and then after that you cross the river, and then you go to the actual insane asylum.
Okay.
Half of the asylum is being occupied, like you were talking about. And the other half is like totally fucking abandoned. Hasn't been, it's not being used at all.
Okay.
It's all blocked off and shit. And
Could you get in?
No, you can't. You can't actually
Son of a bitch.
get inside. We talked
My
to somebody.
paperwork says it can be accessed. Lies.
It is it's
And
bullshit.
I got this from their website, so that's lies.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit because we asked if we can go inside, and the lady that we spoke to, I don't know how high up she was, but she seemed like she knew what the fuck she was talking about.
Right,
She was like,
right.
"No, we can't let anybody on the property. They have security watching the whole fucking area
Okay.
over
Well,
there."
I mean, I guess I could understand why. Just the liability. If somebody were to get hurt on there,
Yeah, but
they'd be liable for it.
that's why you have waivers, and also I guess like,
right.
I can also see them not wanting anybody there for the rehab center being there and disturbing those people. I could see that.
Yeah, I could see, especially if it's connected.
Yeah.
I could see the rehab people trying to like relax and go through their stuff, and then all of a sudden, they just on the other side of the wall.
It's not even a wall.
They hear that.
Yeah.
You
it's not even a wall, it's a fence. So they're
inside,
no. So
or are
on
they
the-
just sharing the facility, the grounds?
no, so think about it like, I know people can't see my hands, but think
Right.
about the facility that they're using for rehab over here.
Okay.
Okay, on one side of a square. If you're thinking of a square, think about it like that. One side, and on the other side is the abandoned shit. So if you split that in half, they have the walkway. They have a like little nice walking path. But on the side of the rehab center, it's like the back doors. I'm guessing of where people's rooms and shit are. It's a fenced off fucking wall.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like chain
so you
link
can't
fence.
even get they can't. Oh, okay.
No, so you can get to the front office of by
Right.
going to the front, but in the back it's all fenced off and people are outside, and it was kind of weird.
Huh.
But yeah, so if someone on listening on the podcast right now was able to get in and able to figure out how to access into the asylum, let us know.
We will. I want to go in.
I want to go in. Yeah, I want to get video. Yeah, there probably is.
So, yeah, I want to go.
I'm down.
So,
Are you ready for?
I'm about as ready as I'm going to be. I just want to apologize now if I like cough a little bit or something. No, I don't have the Rona. It's just a sinus infection. Okay.
Are you sure you don't have the Rona?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Well, good.
So you might hear that a lot, me clearing my throat as we go along.
That's fine.
So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started for Two Truths and a Lie this week. Whee! Yay! We need a clapping. So first up on Order to Biz, cell phone spook ghosts. That is the first one. Number 1, cell phone spook ghosts.
Okay.
Number 2, 45% of Americans believe that ghosts and demons exist. And number 3, Democrats are more likely than Republicans to believe in ghosts. Going a little political, but
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. Little out of
yeah.
tone for me.
I mean, wow.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on there. Yeah.
Do we have our
it's
answer?
odd. Because I mean, the 45% number seems a little high.
It does seem a little high, doesn't it?
It seems a little high.
Fair point.
That many people would admit to believing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
But then I guess maybe it's not. You know, if we factor in the religious aspect,
True.
because with the religious aspect, if they believe in one side, they have to believe in the other side, and the afterlife and all that.
Yeah.
So maybe cell phones spooking ghosts. That seems odd to me. Like the ghost is gonna be like, "Oh no, he's got a cell phone. Hide."
Oh no.
You know, I just don't. I don't see it at all.
You don't see it?
Yeah, it seems odd. But then the political one seems pretty sus.
Seems sus.
It does seem sus.
Well, shit.
Man,
I know, so many good choices, so many.
I'm torn between cell phone spook ghosts and Democrats are more likely than Republicans to believe in ghosts. I'm torn between those two.
You're torn, but our viewers want an answer.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Yeah, exactly. Make a choice.
I'm gonna go with number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Number 3. Democrats are more likely than Republicans to believe in ghosts.
You're saying that's the lie, correct?
Yes, I'm gonna say that's the lie. Politicians are stupid.
Politicians are stupid. You are correct.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you are
What?
correct.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What?
So check this out. It's actually switched. Yeah. So Republicans are more likely than Democrats to believe supernatural entities of all kinds, particularly demons. Over half, 54% of Republicans say that they believe in demons, while far fewer, 37% Democrats say the same. Similarly, Republicans are more likely than Democrats to believe in ghosts, 46% to 41%, vampires, 14% versus 8%, and other supernatural beings, 50% versus 41%.
Huh.
So interesting. And let's go back over the other two. More than 1 in 5, or 22% of Americans, say that demons definitely exist. While slightly more, 24% believe that they probably exist. The numbers are similar when Americans are asked about ghosts. 20% say they definitely exist, and 25% say they probably exist. So that's where the 45% comes in factor.
Okay.
And
still weird.
yeah, it is weird. And back to the first one, we got, according to an expert in England, mobile phones are killing off ghosts. Tony Cornell of the Society for Psychical Research told a British newspaper called the Sunday Express in 2001 that reports of ghost sightings began to decline when mobile phones were introduced. Ghost sightings have remained consistent for centuries, said Cornell of Cambridge in eastern England, but when the introduction of mobile phones, most sightings began to decline to the point where now we are receiving none. Apparently, paranormal events, which some scientists put down to unusual electrical activity, could be drowned out by the electronic noise produced by phone calls and text messages.
Interesting.
Yeah. Little weird, huh?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I thought that one was the most interesting to me, honestly.
Like again, like I said, like a ghost is gonna be like, he's got a cell phone. Hide.
Apparently.
Oh, no. Like, seriously, come on.
Their minutes are going way up.
It makes you wonder if they're getting less sightings because of cell phones, because now people are constantly, like, you know, if they go into a place that they think is haunted or whatever, they're going to have phone out and stuff and trying to record their area, whereas before it was just based on what you said.
It was all hearsay back then.
Yeah. So somebody would be like, "Yeah, I saw a ghost, dude. Like, he tried to rape me."
No, that's my special spot. No,
don't stop.
Get it. Don't stop. Get it.
But yeah, wow.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Very crazy.
And you're up another point.
Yes. You know what I was just thinking
What?
while we were doing this? So we have a slideshow for our facts, the weekly horror fact,
Right.
pictures that go along with it. We have a slideshow of pictures that go along with our stories.
Correct.
We should have one that goes with your game, Two Truths and a Lie. Like maybe just the title,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe the next slide could be like my current score.
I like that. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And then each week we'll just update the score to reflect me getting better.
Or worse.
No, better.
Worse.
Has to be better.
Well, we'll see.
Don't make me beg now.
You can't do anything to change the score already. I think what? So we didn't do it the first episode.
No. So I'm 3 and
You're
5. 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay. So that's good.
Pretty good. I'm catching
bad.
up somehow. Don't know how.
Slightly.
But somehow.
So you have some stories for us today, I hear. I hear they're a little bit spooky, aren't they? They're just gonna rip you off. That sounded kind of sexual. My bad.
Let the game begin.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Sorry about the silence. Taking a drink here.
You're
Trying to.
A-okay. You thirsty bitch.
All right. So, what are shadow people?
Scary.
Oh, bitch.
What are the shadow people?
So, well, buddy. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Son of a bitch.
For somehow, our slideshow pictures, like, shrank to, like, miniature sized.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and up in the corner. They weren't even in the center of the screen. They were way off to the side, so...
They were like, woo!
So I'm trying to fix that right now. Sorry, folks, for you seeing me do this. Normally we have this all worked out by now.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good, man. There we go.
We're all set, right?
What are shadow people?
Scary.
At first they...
Sorry, I was answering your question.
Rhetorical question.
Oh, okay.
At first they appear only out of the corner of your eye, figuratively darting out of the view when you turn to look straight at them, but are now gone. Did you really see them? Shaking the image out of your head, you assume it was some peculiar anomaly of your eyesight. However, the feeling still lingers that someone continues to watch you for weeks, months, years. The fast, dark movements in the peripheral vision are dismissed until it finally happens without warning. You see the shadow directly in front of you, face to face, blacker than black, darker than dark, like a void that has punched a hole into the inky fabric of night itself. Sometimes it appears as the mere silhouette of a person, usually male, but generally lacking any other characteristics of gender. However, in no way does the description end there. There are hatted shadow beings, hooded shadows, cloaked ones, or solid or wispy, smoky types. Some are seen only from the waist up, others clearly have legs that are seen fleeing from the observers. They dart into corners, through walls, into closets, or behind television sets, bushes, and buildings. Sometimes they simply fade into the dark recesses of the night. Lacking in the description is one common denominator unifying the many different types of shadow people that enter our world, except they are intensely dark. Even then, there are exceptions. What is their purpose? Well, one thing is for certain, the personalities and intentions of shadow people are just as varied as one of the 6 billion people populating this planet, while several witnesses believe that shadow people act as benevolent guardians watching, guiding us. Just as many witnesses have no doubt of the evil, soul-wrenching potential of these beings. Originally, I believed the shadow people to be ghosts, but their stories received, read, compiled, and uploaded are more convincing that shadows are a type of interdimensional beings from which ghosts is only one subcategory. One can only hope that serious research into this paranormal or psychological genre will paint a clearer understanding of the nature and makeup of these dark, mysterious people. That day has not yet come. Until then, this site brings together hundreds of witnesses who took the time and energy to detail their experiences in order to help us develop consensus about the very strange nature of shadow people. You are all encouraged to sift and read through them to come to your own conclusions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I guess reading that, I should have given the little precursor. I got all this information from the interwebs, one website, the Shadow People story. I don't have the website with me, but
Shadow People Anonymous?
yeah, something like that. If you Google Shadow People stories, you will find the website. It just has hundreds and hundreds of different stories.
Well, I got fucked. I didn't find that website.
Okay, maybe if you don't Google it, you won't find it. I don't know. I found it with ease, but, you know.
Oh.
I could probably even give you the web address. Because I know I saved it in my bookmarks. Because I wanted to be able to come back to it someday.
Yeah, probably a lot of good stories, huh?
Oh, so many good stories.
Some spoopy-oopy going on. Wiki wiki.
Shadow Story Archive.
That's the website name?
Shadowpeople.org.
Shadowpeople.org.
Yeah.
They're an organization, huh?
They are.
That's crazy.
Everywhere.
Okay.
So I have a few explanations of why they fit into certain categories.
Awesome.
First being ghosts.
Let's get in.
Although shadow people are often described as ghost shadows or ghost people, the truth is that they only seem to behave in an entirely different way to other spirit phenomena. Orbs, ectoplasm, and the like are rarely ever seen around these shadow ghosts. Although they're seen very commonly around areas of other ghostly and spiritual activity, it seems that shadow people are seen alone and act alone, which lends credence to their theories that they may be beings from another interdimensional plane, aliens, time travelers, or even something that we're not entirely sure how to define. If they are spirits or ghosts, one theory suggests that these shadows represent human spirits that are simply lost on this plane. They don't look the same as other spirits with facial features and clothing that we can recognize because they haven't yet embraced their state of being, leaving them with an absence of the light that most spirits encounter upon moving onto the next plane after death. This absence of light means that we see them as a shadow. This theory suggests that these shadow ghosts are trapped because they cannot move on. So although they may feel sad and heavy, they're not necessarily evil or demonic spirit. Another theory, we see them as shadow simply because of the way our eyes perceive whatever light spectrum these shadowy figures exist within.
Oh, wow. See, my question is are they in like some shadow people purgatory? I mean, like ghost purgatory, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're literally trapped between states of being an actual ghost and moving on. Or not moving
okay.
on. Sorry.
I see what you're saying. Maybe
it's like ghost school. You gotta learn how to become a ghost. I don't know. Very interesting theory.
That could be. This next theory is that they're demons. Another theory for these shadowy persons is that they are in fact demonic in nature, simply due to the dark thoughts often experienced by those who encounter them. Again, this is often at odds to what you might experience when encountering neutral spirits or other entities. As these kinds of dark, malevolent, and intrusive thoughts tend to be associated with demonic beings, encounters are often accompanied by feelings of intense dread, and often witness to these shadow people do not feel like they are or have been in the presence of a being that was once human.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, no.
Doing the best I can here.
Yeah, a little sinus.
Yeah. This last theory is that they're interdimensional beings.
Ooh, we need that space music.
The most popular answer to what are shadow people? The question tends to lean towards a type of interdimensional being. Aliens is often band-aid around as an answer. And it's not quite as ludicrous as it sounds. Many people believe that aliens are already here on Earth and are simply just disguising themselves. Yeah, sorry. Others believe that aliens are on Earth but are in a different dimension, and that those shadows are simply the slit between dimensions. Another theory based on astral beings and time travelers also works on the idea that these shadows are simply astral beings or time travelers who slip through one dimension or another. Just how these time travelers or astral beings slip through that dimension is something we don't yet have an answer for, but one theory as to why we may feel dread encountering these beings is simply due to the effect that a slip in our dimension would have on a healthy human.
For all you science fiction nerds out there, which I am one of them, that is really cool. Like, that's badass.
Yeah, the idea that
interdimensional travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. Like, I'm just thinking about it because when you were talking about, like, the astral plane, I was thinking astral projection of somebody from around the world, you know, being like, I'm going to go fuck with people. Like,
right?
Just being like, I'm a ghosty today.
I'm a ghost, motherfucker.
Exactly. So that's really cool. I like that.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Nice.
I thought it was fitting.
Definitely.
Okay, I have a couple stories. Anathema has had a few encounters with shadow people, but there is only one that truly terrified her. On a summer evening, she stayed up late watching television with her sister. As she got up to go to bed, she passed by the front door and saw a Native American man standing in the frame. He stood about 6'5", wore a black suit and an old-fashioned top hat, had long hair and sharp blue eyes. She screamed, making her sister jump and impulsively throw the salt shaker at the figure. The shadow person's face fell into what seemed like a sorrowful expression, then shimmered away through the front door. Later, when describing the experience to her father, he said the shadow person sounded like a description of his great uncle who died when he was young.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, but it does give credence to the ghost theory, you know.
It does. And, you know, I said it, you know, it's sad, but it's also kind of comforting in a way.
Yeah, like maybe his uncle was
watching over.
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
And
I like that.
Maybe he had a sad look on his face because he didn't intend to scare them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
That makes you kind of wonder
you
if,
know,
like, all ghosts, you know, are like that because they're not being heard, or, you know, they can't be seen as they used to be, and so it's depressing to think about.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah.
So, this next story is called The Window Stalker.
Creepy motherfucker.
When I was about 10 years old, I remember something a 10-year-old would never forget. One night, when I was sleeping in my room, I woke up for no reason and looked around the room, still sitting on my bed. At the time, I had no curtains on my windows. When I looked out the window, I saw a black shadow staring at me. To describe it had no face. It was just plain black. I was so scared that I couldn't move. I was too scared to turn on the lights, so I hid under my blankies. I was puzzled, also because who'd be staring at me from the second floor window? The next day, I told my mother about this. I think she believed me. We put a blanket over the window so it wouldn't bother me no more. After that, it didn't bother me. But that very next night, my mom told me a black shadow came to her sliding door window. It was just staring at her. She got up to turn the lights on, but it was no longer there. She shut the curtains and left it at that. So every night she reminded me to shut all the curtains in the house. A few years later, my little brother had the same experience. He woke up crying and he was too scared to sleep alone for a long time. My brother was only 8 years old at the time. I don't know why this thing bothered us, but I can only give you people some advice. Close your windows at night so nothing will look at you while you sleep.
Fuck that. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, especially being a second-story window. Like,
yeah, how the fuck would you do that?
It was a shadow ghost thing.
Or just somebody on a ladder.
Oh, yeah. Because some guy's going to walk around the neighborhood. He's like, here, let me set up this ladder. Whoop.
It just reminds me of, like, Herbert the Pervert being like,
yeah.
Hey there, Chris.
Wash your soapy self. And must lay on paper, boy.
Ooh.
It's gonna bring me some good news.
Just Herbert the Pervert looking at a little brother going, Hey, Kyle.
Oh, man. So, anywho. Back to spooky shit.
Spooky.
This next story is called To Whom It May Concern. I am rarely the one to make a big deal of things, let alone tell anyone weird, unbelievable stuff. But these are some experiences that I recently had in a house we lived in for a little under a year. We moved into this house in October 2001. First 2 or 3 months, all was fine. Then all around the first of the year 2002, my 4-year-old, then 3, would wake up in the middle of the night absolutely terrified, saying there was a monster in her room. Now, of course, I brushed this off as a childhood nightmare. But then in late February, I started waking up in the middle of the night with a feeling of someone staring at me. No, my daughter stopped getting up. So she stopped having nightmares this time when he started having them. Upon looking in the general vicinity of where this feeling was coming from, I would briefly see a shadowy black and gray apparition that would be gone as soon as my eyes focused. This would give me the chills. Then I would go to sleep. This occurred 2 to 3 times a week for months. The same nightly scenario. I'd wake up, focus, and gone. Or I'd wake up to see it and turn on the TV, and it was gone. Only once did my fiance actually see this apparition too. I think it was in June. She woke me up in the middle of the night and said she saw a faceless child standing next to her about 3 feet from her side of the bed. As soon as she looked at the face, it was gone. Then I got up, telling her it must have been my daughter. I went into her room and she was fast asleep. Other than this, she never saw anything again. The most frightful experience with it was in late August when I woke out of a dead sleep. And again, did the routine, except this time, it didn't disappear. It stayed floating in the corner of the room. It was a swirling black cloud with some gray in it, probably 4 to 5 feet long and 1.5 to 2 feet wide. I honestly say I have not felt that kind of fear ever in my life. It felt like there was pure evil in the room. I couldn't move, but I was able to nudge my fiance and say, "Look, there it is, the thing I keep seeing." With that, she rolled over, and only after she turned over did it disappear. We moved out in late September, and I have not been woken up since. I did ask a few people of the history of the house, but to no one's recollection did anyone ever meet their fate on that ground. Like I said, normally I wouldn't take the time to write this. However, I feel as though I needed to get it off my chest. P.S. The corner this always appeared in was a corner where I had a crucifix hanging on the wall. We left it behind as well to ensure we wouldn't be followed.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that. No. And it was in the corner where the crucifix was?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
So what if the crucifix was haunted?
take that religion.
I'm just saying. I mean, as a haunted religious artifact, I mean that very well could be the case.
That could be possible.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
And I don't know, man. Like, I kept on thinking to myself, like, just fucking leave. Like, leave and see. Because if it was me, I would want to test it out.
GTFO.
Yeah, GTFO, as Lindsay would say. We're making her proud.
She's hilarious. I've never met her or anything, just from listening to her on the podcast and stuff.
Oh, she's so sweet,
I
dude.
love her.
Dude, I've actually met her.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's really cool, really nice. Dan Cummins, if you ever find us, or if you ever listen.
some way.
Well, I mean, he's only in fucking Coeur d'Alene.
I know.
Like,
He's just a hop, skip, and a throw away.
Exactly. If
Like,
you ever...
we could go visit him.
Actually, they do allow people into their studio
I know.
to ask questions. So,
I've heard.
yeah, Nick keeps on telling me that we need to go.
We do. We'll make a road trip. We'll do it.
But, Dan...
But probably won't happen till after COVID. I'm sure they have some stuff in place for that.
But,
I
Dan...
mean, if I have to wear a mask in or whatever.
Yeah. But Dan, if you ever do listen and you ever hear us, you know,
Leave us a message.
Leave us a message. Like, straight up, I would love to hear from Dan Cummins, even if it was just like feedback. If he even was like, you guys suck ass, I'd be like, woo!
Right.
Like, he said something.
I feel like we've done better since episode 1.
Yeah, definitely. So, anybody that, like, jumps in, episode 1 is not a representation.
I turned a friend of mine on to us.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And, he was a little weird about us.
Weird? What does that mean?
Let me find.
So we got another message that you're hiding from me.
It's not necessarily a message. It's just a conversation back and forth. I told him about us. He asked where we could find. I said Spotify, Castbox, Anchor. You know, I told him Anchor was the best place.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we've been doing it for about 9 weeks now. He goes, I'm listening to the first episode now. I told him I invited him to our Facebook page.
Nice.
You know, I said the first episode we were sharing a mic. You know, just kind of getting used to the whole thing. So things might seem a little
kind of
odd,
kind of awkward. I would say
awkward. And he was like, "Uh-oh, where did it go?" Okay. He was like, hookers, cocaine, and bestiality, all in the first 4.5 minutes.
You're damn right.
And I was like, well, you know how weird we get.
That'll be a fucking t-shirt.
And that was the last I heard.
First 4 minutes, it's like I'm hooked.
He's either hooked or he's so scared he won't talk to us anymore.
You just lost a good friend. I'm so sorry. You know,
my bad.
No, but the funny thing about it, it's not a good representation for us. The first episode.
No, it's not. But it is nice to see. My chair's falling apart.
Oh shit.
It's nice though for people to go back to the first, and like they can see the progression.
They can see how much we've grown.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like I would hate it if somebody like started on like this episode and then went back to the first and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They'd be like, oh shit, everything's different.
At least they started in the first and worked their way up to where we are now. They could see the growth, the progression, and clearly if they lasted through the first episode, we're stuck with them forever.
No.
They're ours.
They're ours. You're mine now, motherfucker.
Because, yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking, because your friend was like, bestiality, cocaine, and all this other shit. I was just thinking in my head, wait till he gets to the Yeti episode. Mother Russia!
Right? Yeah, I didn't give him any warning.
Oh, God.
I gave him no warnings at all.
You gave him nothing.
Nothing. I just said, we talk about all things horror.
He's in for a treat.
And he was like, okay, I'm listening to the first episode. Then I get that.
Oh, God.
Message. And that was the last I heard from him.
Yeah. So
he does work a lot, so I'm gonna reach out to him.
Yeah, just
and see if he's got any anything. So I have 2 more stories for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you ready for the story of the Hat Man?
No.
Well, you better get ready.
Okay.
Because
I'm ready.
the Hat Man. I've seen the Hat Man once. Although I would not describe the experience as terrifying, I do not wish to see him again. I woke in the early hours one morning in the summer of 1999 and went to the kitchen for a glass of water. The kitchen was not in darkness as dawn was breaking, bringing a little bit of light into the room. I ran the tap, filled my glass. When the glass was full, I turned and looked out the kitchen window and across the school field, which was fenced off from the end of my garden. As I stood and drank, I looked at a thin line of daylight breaking through the navy sky in the distance. It was at that moment that I saw him. I stood still, a little confused and a little astonished at this black silhouette of a man, no shorter than 6 foot tall, wearing a top hat and a long coat that flapped behind his legs as he strode across the field in front of me. He held a cane, which he flicked in front of him as he walked. As I watched, I tried to understand why anybody would be walking across a locked school field in the small hours of the morning, and in no apparent hurry. For a moment I wondered where he was going, because there was no exit in the direction in which he was walking. Only fenced-off gardens, barbed wire, and stinging nettles. I could not make sense of what I was seeing and began to feel uneasy. I stood rooted to the spot and worried that he might feel me watching and turn to look at me. He didn't. He just strolled along as if he had all the time in the world. I watched him walk behind the greenhouse that sat at the end of my neighbor's garden. He never walked out the other side. He just vanished. It wasn't until he disappeared that I felt creepy. It was some years later that I found out many people all over the world have seen something very similar to what I saw that night. I permit my experience of the Hat Man to be uploaded to the official Shadow People archive.
Oh wow. See, that'd be something to see some magic trick, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, there's Dave. And then he walks behind and oh, there goes Dave.
What if there was just a door on that side of the garden shack and he just walked in there?
Yeah, see,
Like, really?
no, that's a good point to
Thinking
bring
he
up.
disappeared, but he didn't. He just walked into the garden shed.
No, I could 100% see that being an actual thing. Yeah, I'm not trying to be skeptical, but it's definitely a possibility. So it's something that should be looked at.
Yeah, I agree. This last story, though, is probably the one that got me the most. Just because of the plea for help.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Hi there. My name is Sam from New York. I would like to share my experiences of the shadow people that I have encountered in the last few years. First, dating back for a few years back, about 4 or 5 years to be precise. I was out at the park with a friend when, out of nowhere, I saw a black figure standing behind a tree. I asked my friend if he saw what I had just seen. He said yes. We both knew what we saw and looked at each other in shock. At first, we thought it was just a person in black staring at us, but then we saw it running from one tree to another. I told my friend, hey, let's go towards it and see who it is that keeps staring at us. Once we walked a few feet towards it, there was no one there. We both looked at each other, then walked away and never spoke about it again. No, we weren't on any drugs. This is where it all started. That summer night at the park. Could it be it followed me home? Or has it just been keeping a close eye on me? About 2 years later, I saw the same shadow person in my house. I was in my living room when suddenly I saw something black run from my brother's room towards the bathroom while my mom was in the kitchen cooking. I asked her if my brother was home and she said no. I asked her if anyone else was just in his room and she simply said no, he hasn't been home all day. I told her what I saw, but of course she didn't believe me. I shrugged it off and didn't talk about it again. Another year has gone by. January 21st, 12:50 a.m. I encountered it again. I was sleeping for about an hour when suddenly in my sleep I felt something weird, like if someone was choking me or watching me. I woke up in fear and yelled out, but no one heard me. I looked towards my door, and there it was again. The Shadow Sentinel, which is what they're called. The ones who stand in the corner, looking at you in the dark. I was scared at first, but I was too tired and fell right back asleep. I woke up at 5 a.m. to go to work, and once I woke up, I knew that what I felt and saw wasn't a dream, but in fact, reality. I found it very weird that I was jumping and shaking while I was sleeping, like if something was bothering me in my sleep, but everything in my dream was okay until I woke up. I guess I can say that I was scared, but then again, I really wasn't considering it wasn't the first time I saw it. I'm not sure if this is all good or a bad thing. I just know that I can't be scared and just live my normal everyday life. Even though I've been home for about 3 hours now, I haven't been to my room much. I don't know if I should be scared or not. I know I'm not going crazy, but I would love to hear from someone that knows a little more. All the internet says is that they're not demons and that they're just time travelers or spirits stuck in our world. Some people say they might be guarding us, but I feel creeped out at times. I always get the feeling like if someone's watching me, but I try to ignore it. If someone's reading this, please help. I pray every day, but maybe my prayers haven't been enough. Please help.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the end. That's
a plea
that,
for
like,
help.
That little journal entry. Yeah, that's why I said that's what got me, because it's a legitimate plea for help. Like, something's going on. They don't understand why.
Yeah.
And they need help.
Jesus fuck, man. That's sad almost.
So Sam from New York, I hope you're okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't recall when this was posted on their site.
There was no date on the journal?
There might have been. I didn't grab it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I hope Sam got the help that Sam needed.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's...
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
that's sad stuff. I mean, that you just never know.
Yeah. Well, on that note, it looks like we're at about halftime right now, so let's take it away, Anchor.
They're here.
Man, what a good little sponsor break.
Yeah, definitely needed.
Definitely needed. And
Ooh.
everything's working.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy about
I
that.
am too. Thanks for the break, Anchor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anchor. You sly dog.
Yes. It's good to be back from
yeah.
our little sponsor break. It's your turn, buddy.
I know. I got some stories here that'll probably spook you shitless. That's
I'm
right.
ready.
You ready?
I'm as ready as I will ever be.
Ever be, huh? Okay.
Let the game begin.
Hell yeah. There are many different urban legends told over campfires and during sleepovers. They are used to entertain with scary stories, but many really cannot be traced to one solid source. They always happen to a friend of a friend or someone my family member knows who knows someone else. When a story starts that way, it is surely a tall tale or an urban legend. For example, one famous urban legend is the Bloody Mary ritual, which I have written about in a previous column. That's the legend that claims if you stand in front of a mirror in a darkened room, you can invoke this spirit which allegedly harms the summoner. While this is a legend, I have yet to meet anyone who successfully performed the ritual and met the spirit witch. This is probably for the best. However, as she is allegedly a rather mean, violent spirit. Another urban legend I have read about are the shadow people, and specifically, the Hat Man. Shadow people are silhouetted, full-body, phantom-like apparitions with which some people believe stalk or harass them. Many reports of shadow people during night hours and center on a sleeping person. One of the most common encounters with the shadow people is in the middle of the night. The typical event begins when the person, upon wakening, sees the shadow of a person standing in the room staring at the sleeper. Many describe the observer as wearing a fedora, and the person just stands there, watching the waking sleeper. In many cases, the figure moves out of sight or vanishes, creating fear in the person who has awakened. While this is the basic story, there are variations. Some describe the shadow person as standing over the bed. Others claim this shadowy figure wakes them by repeatedly whispering in their ear, "Wake up." One alarming aspect of this nighttime specter is some describe the person as having glowing red eyes. While in some cases this appears is a one-time event, many who have experienced the Hat Man claim he returns and stalks them. Those who experience this entity will pray, order it to leave, or just try to be brave. But it seems from anecdotes these strategies don't always work. The man returns repeatedly, and it becomes a pattern of harassment. Neurologists and psychiatrists will dismiss these nighttime encounters as waking paralysis or night terrors in which the mind wakens before the body completely does and interrupts the odd physical feedback from our bodies in an unexpected way. Our subconscious allegedly creates imaginary situations to explain why we cannot move right away. And thus, the shadow menace appears. While this may explain a good many of these encounters, especially since some people are prone to night terrors, it does not necessarily explain all of them. Another explanation that might be used is hallucinations brought on by alcohol or drugs, yet there are those who are sober and have these experiences. I am inclined to believe that the mysterious figure on the room as you wake could be manufactured by the brain and is a remnant of our slumber. However, that does not explain those cases in which an already fully awake person encounters the Hat Man in the dark of the night and not necessarily in the bedroom. I have a friend who has had many experiences with this entity from the time she was a girl until adulthood. Even now, the being will occasionally appear in front of her. She's a good person, totally sober, and not prone to imagination, but you could see her demeanor change when she discusses him. She becomes furtive and shaken. While the being does not appear as much to her now, she still sees him, and it is not related to sleep. She sometimes looks out a window and notices him standing by a tree or under a streetlight. While I cannot claim to have experienced the Hat Man, I have seen a shadow person twice in my life. My first experience, I think, could be explained by a breaking fever. As I lay in my bed, rolling from side to side, I became aware of a shadow being standing in the doorway into my room, watching me. I rolled over and looked straight at it, rolled back, and when I registered, I rolled back, but the person was gone. Decades later, my brother would describe similar encounters while growing up in our family homestead, but neither of us never shared it. The second time was soon after I moved into my current house. For weeks, I would wake at 4:15 a.m. in the darkened, still house while my family slept. About the sixth or seventh straight day of this, I woke to a commanding man's voice saying, "David!" My eyes shot open, and I immediately leaned up on my elbow, indicating I could not have been having waking paralysis. At the end of the hall was a figure, pitch black and featureless. It swallowed all the light at the end of the hallway, which normally well lit with ambient nighttime light. As I watched, the figure moved to my left and disappeared on the stairs. I jumped out of bed, grabbed a bat, and hurried down the hall. There was no one there. That night, I searched the entire house, but to no avail. The doors and windows were locked and secured. There was no one in the house but us. After that, I did not see him again. I'm curious, though. Have you seen the Hat Man or encountered a shadow person?
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, and that was just the first story, too.
I don't think I can handle more.
You don't think you can?
I don't know. I'm pretty scared.
You already went to the bathroom, but do you have to go again?
Maybe.
Maybe. This next little story I got for you, buddy, is it's pretty scary.
I don't think I can handle more. That's some spooky shit.
Let's get into it.
All right.
I see them every night, every day, in my home, on the street, in every dirty corner and ugly alleyway, squeezing their way out of every crack in the ground and pulsating in every seam in every wall around me, just out of the corner of my eye. I hear their voices muttering and whispering, speaking and arguing with each other, saying terrible things, things that hurt, things that can't be taken back. I can never quite make out the exact words, but the tones and the inflection they speak with, they say everything. They don't always speak. Most of the time, they're silent, but when they do, it's so unnerving. I try to get away from it, but the further I go, the louder it seems to get. I think they do it on purpose, to punish me. They are shadows. They resemble people, but not perfectly. Each one is different, and all of them are warped in some way. Some have legs and arms that are way too long, and gross fingers that stretch out too far. They don't move like people. They are too fast. They move like birds, gliding and sliding around and occasionally waddling or slinking when they have to slow down. I never really sleep anymore. I've seen them my whole life, but I've never gotten used to it. They make me panic. They make me feel unsafe. No one believes me. They can't see what I see. They think I'm acting crazy. I scream. I cry. I beg them to believe me, but they only walk away. I try to warn people, try to help them escape, but they never listen. I've seen them kill before. I saw a bird near one of the creatures. A black hand came and grabbed it, smashing it into the concrete over and over, trying to pull it in. The bird wouldn't go in. The poor thing fell to pieces, hideous gore and viscera everywhere. I watched the poor thing turn to a rotting mess as the maggots devoured it. Tiny little shadow people circled around it, almost like they were mocking the dead creature. There have been times where it was too much. I lost control, and I would try to throw things at them or hit them. They're too quick. They always speed up before I can even touch them. I end up breaking holes in my walls or hurting my fist against the concrete. I hurt myself sometimes. I think they're telling me to do it, but not in words. I've slit my wrists. I've made slices in my legs and torso. I've cut my face, and I even took off a few fingers. I act strangely sometimes, and I think it's their fault. I think they're telling me to do weird things. By the time I get a hold of myself, I'm in some strange place. Because of them, I get lost sometimes. I end up in the woods miles from home. Sometimes I end up in a bad neighborhood. It doesn't matter if it's night or day. They're always lurking, always watching. They never sleep. They never go away. Light doesn't hurt them. It only hides them. I keep the lights on as long as I can, but I know they're still there. Their eyes pierce me. They get under my skin. I know they're always above me, scurrying away as I turn my head to look at them. They love to hide in the corner of my vision, where I can't quite see them. But I still know they're there. They are taunting me, mocking me. I believe they are hunting me. Everywhere I go, they watch me. I don't know what they want or why they want me, but they always are watching. They hate me. I don't know why. I don't know what I did, but they hate me. They want me dead. I can feel it. When they speak, I hear it in their voices. I am garbage. I am shit. I am awful. I am hatred. I disgust them. Some are trapped in the walls, unable to escape, but lately, some have broken free. They enter our world. They touch my things and move them. They walk across my floors. They poke their heads out from the doorways. They stand outside my windows and stare at me. They are breaking into our world. They are becoming more and more real. There is one who stands above all the rest. I hate him the most. I have only started seeing him recently, and he is the worst of them all. He is the one and only who wears clothes. He wears a hat and a large coat. He has deep, red, piercing eyes. He doesn't run away when I catch him. He never leaves. He never goes away. He follows me everywhere. Only after hours of stalking me does he disappear, only to come back a few days later. No one else sees him. No one else hears him. I scream at him. I throw things at him. I run after him, but it never works. It does nothing. The people around me all think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. People have tackled me. They've held me down. They've hit me. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes they're trying to keep me from hurting myself or doing what the shadow people tell me to do, but most of the time they're just hurting me. I think they're listening to the man in the hat. The man in the hat is watching me right now. I know it. I can't see him, but I feel him. You can always feel him when he's with you. You can feel exactly where he is and how close he is to you. He'll move around. He'll hide from you, but he'll keep watching you. I don't know how to make him go away. I know that I only see him because he lets me see him. He wants something from me. He's planning something. By the time you read this, I don't know if I'm still going to be here. I think he's going to get rid of me. I don't know what happens when he gets you, but I know it's hell. Maybe he'll drag me down to hell. Maybe there is nothing on the other side, and he'll just erase me from existence. I have written this just to let you all know shadow people are real, and the man in the hat is their leader. None of you were safe. We survived because they let us survive. Please be safe and live your life like each day will end in your death. Shadow people are real, and they hate us all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Jesus.
That was an intense one, I think.
Yeah, the fact that the guy was like, they're following me, watching me.
Yeah.
I saw them kill. Like, damn.
Yeah, it was...
That's intense.
Yeah, pretty intense narrative there.
The Hat Man is always there, watching from the shadows, waiting to get you, to drag you to hell, and torture your soul forever and ever.
Yeah, fuck that.
Woo!
Do you want and I got one more thing for you. Do you want to learn how to summon a shadow person?
Do it.
No, I don't think you want to. I don't know. The last little thing I have is a ritual. Game of the Shadow Man. The Game of the Shadow Man is one of the earliest forms of demonic summoning rituals known in urban legend, dating as far back as 1200 AD. The ritual has gone under many other titles, the most popular being the Boogeyman Ritual, Satan's Shadow, or simply the Dark Summoning. Many forms of the summoning ritual have come and passed. Most resulted in more failures than results, while others simply passed into obscurity. This version, however, is one of the remaining few that yields results. This tutorial will act as your personal guide on how to perform the game of the Shadow Man. Before enacting the ritual, it is best noted by past reports that the summoner, you, the reader in this case, must be first informed on what the Shadow Man is, as to better understand what you are dealing with. The title, Shadow Man, is simply a description of what the being is, a tall, shadowy, humanoid figure. The true name of this creature is unknown, though through conversation with the being it tends to give a variety of names it refers to itself as. The most prominent name it calls itself by is simply Shadow. The being is tall, lengthy figure, appearing masculine in nature. Its skin, a pale gray, is referred to as rotting while alive in appearance. And its hair is thick, ebony black mess. It is always described as wearing a gray or black coat that covers up everything but its head and hands. However, its hair always covers its eyes as well, making it impossible to see the figure even has eyes. Furthermore, the nose is described as abnormally sharp, and the mouth is wide sharp tooth smile with lips described as charred skin. The hands on the figure are tipped with a strange black ashy substance from the foremost bend in the finger to the tip, and is sharpened to a pointed end. Now that the being has been identified, the ritualistic process can begin. There are 3 steps to the process: the preparation, the execution, and the resolution. First, the preparation. Before the actual ritual can take place, certain forms of preparation must occur. First, acquire access to a decently sized room that, when closed off, will be completely dark. No light must be able to get into the room during the entirety of the ritual, else it will yield no results. Due to this, it is preferred to act during the darkest hours of the night for the best results. This is to give Shadow a place to access during the ritual. Second, grab a pencil and a piece of paper. Not a mechanical pencil, but a genuine number 2 wooden pencil. Take them both and draw out your best self-portrait. It seems that realism and details do not matter to the execution, as even a simple stick figure yield the same results. After you finish the picture, no matter how good or bad it is, scratch out the eyes with the same pencil. Make it as thick and dark as possible. Make sure the eyes are completely blotted out and cannot be seen. This is to allow Shadow to have a form. As most claimers detail, it is very similar in appearance to themselves. Added with this, find any piece of clothing that you have worn for at least a month or so. This is to add another layer to the formation of Shadow. And sadly, you will be losing this article of clothing in the process. If it is something that comes in pairs, use both. Third and finally, acquire 12 identical candles. This will be both your portal and defense against Shadow, and further details about how this will be used are explained later. The following must be obtained and will be used during the execution process: a candle lighter, a sharp object, preferably a knife, a pair of gloves, and socks to wear. Black ink, printer or pen ink is fine, though a decent amount is needed. Now that you have obtained all necessary items, it is time to begin the ritual. Start by going into selected room and measuring out a space wide enough to perform with. The best way to test it is to stick your arms out to your side and spin in a circle. If you hit nothing or nothing gets in the way, you have enough room. It is okay before you begin to have light in the room to see what you are doing. Begin placing your candles in the circle space you measured out, each spread out equally apart. And once they have set, light them all up. Now, close off any light to the room. Make the room entirely sectioned off to just itself with no outside connection. Go to your circle of candles and, using the ink, put out the fire on every candle. For better reference, imagine the candles like a clock and put out the ones placed at the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 spots. This is the beginning of the ritualistic process, and as said in reports, this is the portal for Shadow to enter through. If at any moment you wish to back out, simply light up one of the dead candles. However, whatever you do, do not have more candles out than on. These candles are your one safety net, and if you make a mistake, it will not end well. Continuing forward, make sure you have your gloves and socks both on as an added layer of protection. Even with the candle circle, it is very important you have a layer of clothing as well. Take the pre-selected article of clothing you wish to use, set it in the middle of the circle, taking heed not to distort or destroy the circle, and stain it with the remainder of your ink. Following that, take up your sharp object and cut a diagonal line from the top to the bottom. Once you've done that, slip in the drawing you had made from earlier into the clothing. If it is too small to fit inside, simply lay the drawing on top. Now burn it. Take the lighter and burn the drawing. You won't need your sharp object for any other reason afterwards. As it is said before, your lighter can be used if you wish to back out during the ritual. However, if you do not back out, never attempt the ritual again. Now, the next stage is one that requires the most direct influence. While the picture is burning, stand back and begin to think of one particular thing. Hate. Think of the things you despise, things you find horrid and disgusting, things you could harm or kill over. Focus on these thoughts, and all the while, say the words, shadow. It is not so much a chant, but you will need to repeat that word over and over again. Slowly, the room around you will shift. It will turn from black and white to crimson and magenta. The air will seem ashy and stale, hard to breathe properly. And from the center of your candle circle, a figure will begin to rise. That is shadow. You will know when it has fully entered the room, suddenly goes quiet. Even if it was already silent to begin with, it will oddly become even more so. Focus your attention now on shadow. This is where the final stage comes into play. You have brought it into your realm to make a deal with it. So long as you are aware of everything you and it both say, you can converse as you please. There is no penalty in conversation, and you could talk for however long you would like. But the ultimate deciding factor is the deal it provides. You can ask Shadow for anything you desire. Fame, fortune, even murder, if you please. You can be as simple or just as descriptive as possible. However, you must be aware of what is said before for both sides of the bet. Make sure anything you bet for and have to pay for is not a major harm to you. Following your request, Shadow will raise its hand to you to shake in confirmation of its deal. So long as you have your gloves, do not worry and take its hand. Before you even realize it, Shadow will have disappeared. The ritual will have been completed, and while it may not come immediately, your reward will eventually be provided. But there is one more thing you must take care of: the gloves. Immediately strip them off and throw them into the circle. Set fire to them. Light all the candles on fire. Do anything you can to discard of your evidence. Shadow knows of what you've done. But so long as you've destroyed the evidence, it cannot track you. From this point, you will have successfully won the game of the Shadow Man. You are free to live your life as you please without fear of consequence. What you wished for will come true to you naturally. If it was money, you will get bonuses and raises at your job unexpectedly. If it was fame, word of you will get around very quickly, and people will take a liking towards you all over. That being said, a few individuals may still be questioning something in this process. What would happen if you were to fail? If you retried the ritual after a previous attempt, failed a step in the execution, or did not get rid of the evidence, what would have happened? The details of failure are blurry, but mainly because not many people who have failed are alive to tell the tale. However, there have been a few select reports that detail what might just happen. It is said that when someone fails, the consequences are not immediately noticeable. It may start off as a voice or a visual problem, but soon you will start to notice strange changes in your life, changes that will affect your mind. Most reports show once healthy people developing symptoms of schizophrenia and PTSD after failure. But the worst part is not during the waking hours. This was of only one report, but it is said that dreams are something like a trip into hell, and you can feel and hear it all. No further reports are known of those who have failed. All people who have failed were claimed dead no longer than a week after the attempting ritual. And that's it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get that shit on camera. It didn't say anything about a camera.
Right. Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Find out it's real and we're fucked. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if
let's do it. I mean, come on. What's the worst that can happen?
I don't know. I fucking die.
Well, so we need to find somebody who's willing to do it.
Oh, we need a guinea pig.
Yes.
All right.
And then we set up cameras
Everywhere.
everywhere in the room. Like, so
Do it at
every
the studio.
square inch of the room is covered.
All right. You hear that, everybody? Put in your application.
That's right. Submit your application.
Please don't try this at home if you're expecting to get scared or whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell people to do it.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
do it or don't do it.
Do it.
But if you do it,
Tell us.
we need everything. Documented footage, everything. Whatever you
Fucking
got. Everything.
I could just see someone making like a funny video and someone like in a black morph suit in the middle of the circle being like, "Woo!"
I would totally do that.
I would post it. I would, fuck yeah, I'd be proud of that person. You're making daddy proud.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I want proof.
You want proof?
I want proof.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's all I have for this week, though.
We need proof.
We need proof.
Yes. So any of you listening, come on. Let's make this happen, guys.
Fucking
Come on.
half of our viewers die. Like, God damn it.
Just
team.
one of them needs to do the ritual.
Just one of them?
Just one.
Well, whoever fucking decides.
And we need documented proof of it. Like,
Imagine we start getting fucking applications in.
okay, I'll buy the candles.
You'll buy the candles. You're like, I'll buy the shit for it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is supply your own shirt.
We even have cameras we can set up. We can, like, totally get it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's security cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
do it, you know? I mean, yeah. Why not? So, it was a good spooky little episode.
That was a perfect episode, I think.
Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed that.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
to kick us
after
off.
all the technical issues. And
Fuck. Dude, I know. I
this is
can't do
awesome.
anything like that
It's
again.
Good. No. We're going to do something about that for future.
Yeah, we're going to make sure it's all nice and secure next time.
Yeah. And we're going to, like, what was it called when you cleanse the room? We're going to cleanse our room.
Oh, shit.
Next
I didn't
time.
even think about that. It's believed that if you talk about shit like that, it attracts shit.
You're inviting it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think the studio isn't in my house?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair. It's outside your house. But no, I get it.
No. Yeah. That's what we're going to do next time. We're going to, like, woo. Yeah,
Fair enough.
cleanse it.
I like it.
Because you just never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
So be careful of the dark shadows lurking out of sight. The shadow you thought just moved. Or the feeling someone else is in the room watching, waiting to attack you. Because you never know. Could just be your imagination, or something sinister waiting to get you and your family.
so sleep tight.
Don't let the shadow people get you.
And always be mindful of your fearful thoughts. Thank you, everybody.